Hello students, this video is for grade 8th subject science. We are going to start new block of coal fossil fuel. The LP1 of this block is formation of coal. The aim of this lesson is to explain the stages involved in the formation of coal. The keywords are peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite, carbonization. And the resources required are a piece of coal, S1, notebook and Excel content book. Students, see this picture carefully and try to answer these questions by pausing the video. Where have you seen coal being used? What does it look like? Where it is found? And why? You can take your time and try to answer these questions. Now resume the video again. Coal is a black solid which leaves black marks on our hands or paper. It is mainly made of the element carbon and also contains some amount of sulfur and nitrogen. We commonly see it being used for roasting corn, in tandoors and by dhobis for ironing the clothes. Coal is found deep under the ground because it was formed from plants that got buried in swampy areas millions of years ago. So students, today we will learn about the 4 stages in the formation of coal, the properties and uses of the type of coal formed at each stage. So now open your volume book S1 and observe the diagrams of the 4 stages involved in the formation of coal. Match each stage correctly to its description. And then read the section Formation of Coal from the Excel content book to identify their properties and uses. For this activity, you can pause the video. And after resuming the video again, there are some questions based on your activity. What are the 4 stages involved in the formation of coal? What happens in each stage? What are the 4 types of coal so formed? So after reading this section of content book, you will be able to answer these questions. We can see there are 4 stages in the formation of coal. The first stage is peat. In the second stage, lignite is formed. Third one is a bituminous coal and fourth is anthracite. So now see in detail. The first stage in the formation of peat, in which the plants that get buried in swampy areas decay partially. So students, this is the first stage and very early this stage came when the buried plants will decay partially. While in the second stage, peat gets buried further as sediments. It gets deposited on it due to the heat inside the earth and the pressure of the sediments and water from above. It undergoes physical and chemical changes to form soft coal called lignite. After lignite in the third stage, the lignite gets buried deeper and due to more heat and pressure, it changes into black coal which is called bituminous coal. After that, in the fourth stage, with time and due intense heat and pressure, the bituminous coal undergoes metamorphosis to form hard coal, that is anthracite. You can see in this figure how the peat finally turns into anthracite. So this metamorphosis of coal is the result of high heat and pressure inside the earth. This picture is also showing 4 stages of the coal formation along with their properties. So in the very first stage, peat is formed, and when intense heat and pressure is there on the peat, it will turn gradually into lignite, which is a brown color coal. After that, bituminous will form, which is soft coal, and then a hard coal is formed, which is anthracite. And of course, anthracite is found in the later stage, so it will be found under the very deep under the surface of earth. So you can go through this slide by pausing the video and try to learn the properties of these 4 stages of the coal. Now, what is the process of converting dead vegetation to coal called? Why? How are the 4 types of coal different? Why is peat inferior and not generally used? Why is lignite soft and brown in color? Where is it used? Which variety of coal is most commonly used? Why is it black in color? So students, we will find the answers of these questions in the next slide. The process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. As the percentage of carbon in the coal increases gradually, the percentage of carbon is least in peat and most in anthracite as it stays buried longest. The 4 types of coal vary in their percentage of carbon in them, and so they have different properties and uses. So students, we can say that the coal are having 4 varieties, and these varieties are depending upon the amount of carbon they consist. So anthracite is obtained deep under the earth after long exposure of heat and pressure, so it has more amount of carbon as compared to the peat variety. Now, peat is inferior as it contains very little carbon, and when it burns, it gives least energy and produces a lots of smoke. Students, in the previous block we discussed about the fuels, and we saw that if the percentage of carbon is more in the fuel, then it will have higher calorific value or it will produce more amount of heat energy. So same is the case in this coal. Peat is the variety of coal which consists less amount of carbon, therefore it is giving less energy and producing lot of smoke. While in lignite, the carbonization is incomplete and therefore it is brown in color and it can be used to generate electricity. The most common type of coal used for domestic and industrial purposes is bituminous coal. It is formed by complete carbonization and so it is black in color. So students, the coal which you have seen in your house or in the domestic purpose is a bituminous type of coal. Now, which type of coal is ideal for use? Why so? Why is anthracite not commonly used? So students, we already discussed that the anthracite is the 4th stage of the coal which is formed after the 3 stages. It is consisting more amount of carbon also. So it is ideal for use as it contains maximum percentage of carbon. It has the highest calorific value as well and produces lots of energy. It also has the least impurities, so it does not produce much smoke on burning. It is not commonly used since it is more expensive than the other forms of the coal because it is found deepest inside the earth. So students, what we learn today? We learn the 4 stages involved in the formation of coal, which are peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite. And these 4 stages are different in the percentage of carbon found in the coal, their properties and their uses. So note down these quiz questions and try to answer these. What is the first formed when plants get buried in swampy areas? Which properties of anthracite make it hard? Now this is the time to complete your work. So you have to finish S1 of your volume book based on today's learning. And you have to complete practice question 1, 2 and 3 from Exit Content book. Thank you students. Have a great day.